Welcome to That Davis Show. I'm your host, Kenneth Davis. Follow me on all social media platforms at That's Davis. Follow Ryan Booker-Vesky, executive producer at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski 1. Ryan, please go ahead and take it away.
So I'll set it up first with a story, and super random, I guess. So just kind of like follow with me. But I was just talking with a friend, and they didn't know the difference between chew tobacco and dip tobacco. So I was kind of like explaining the difference.
I don't think
them.
I know the difference. Wait, one comes in, is a container? What dip is it what you put in here? So dip is what you put in between your mouth, your lip, and let the juices basically seep out, and chew, you're actually chewing it.
Yeah, so with dip, you're putting it on the lip, like you said, and I want to say there's like fiberglass, like kind of material, and it's cutting out the inside of your mouth, and that's the tobacco getting into your bloodstream. With chew, you usually like wad it up, put it in your cheek, and then you can just chew it, but you can keep it in all day. Dip usually take out after like 20 minutes. Dip is like the equivalent of trying to like smoke, and not saying that it's the same, but what you're trying to do is like smoke cigarettes without smoking. Like you're trying to get high, like get that buzz, feel or whatever that you do with cigarettes, versus like chew can be an all-day affair. Like you could just leave that thing in there. It's just you're just chewing on a plant, and you can swallow or you can spit. With dip, you have to spit.
Okay. What's the point of chew? If it's do you get a buzz from chew?
I believe if you chew on it long enough swallowing, you can get a buzz, but normally that's why you pick dip for the buzz, because that's like a more direct way of doing it versus chew.
So that there's no
your saliva is digesting it technically, because you are spitting it regardless if you're swallowing, but it's very, very low levels type thing. So it would take a while to build up.
So there's no reason for chew is what you're trying to tell me, basically.
Well, that's why it was funny when we were talking, because I'm like, that's when you're talking about someone that's a spitter, there's very specific types. A dipper, that's like a dime a dozen smoker that you expect. Like a chewer, that's like one of those people that's like, rolling cigarettes or something like that, where they take it to another level. Besides maybe, because some people will roll just because it's cheaper. Let's say you're not doing it for that reason, or just, those chain smokers, like it's like a cigarette in their mouth the entire time. Like a chewer is a hardcore tobacco word, in my opinion, because there's really no reason to chew over dip, like you mentioned.
Right. Damn. It makes me feel bad. Every time the person that I think about, unfortunately, is Jose Abreu, because I always want to be like, please stop, Jose, because we don't want you to end up like Tony Gwynn. Like,
for
just
real.
Like,
it's
please.
Bad.
And
this is by no means a PSA whatsoever.
No. It's just what can happen. And I mean, again, if this being our vice segment, we all have our vices or have had our vices. So.
And I want to tell this story because I think it's a good story with chew versus dip. But I will just say, with all of this, I feel like with any vice, and you would probably agree, there's probably been times in our lives where we've preferred one of these vices or maybe got into it. But as good as some of it was, we probably look back on it and say, I wish I wouldn't have done it versus doing it at the time. So that's why, like, as much as people maybe look at vices as a positive thing, and even if we talk about it just openly, I feel like it's more so a thing where ultimately you should try to stay away.
But wait, dip has fiberglass in it?
I don't know that for 100% fact, but they are putting like material in there to specifically cut up your lip.
Really? That's ridiculous.
Or not your lip, but cut up the inside.
Yeah, the inside of your. Oh, that. No, I don't want that, sir.
I can't lie. I went through a dip phase for sure.
How long was your dip phase?
Like college.
I knew it was college. I was like, you're in a dorm room with that shit in your mouth.
Well, okay. I'll tell the story and then I'll set this up with how I got the idea.
Okay.
So going back to chew versus dip, I remember I was dating this girl that was attending USF in Florida, and I went down there to visit. And she had a roommate who had a boyfriend, and the four of us went out to a Lightning game. I think they were playing Sid the Kid and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, and the Lightning, I believe, were trash, basically super easy to get in and out. But from the campus to where the stadium was about a 45-minute drive or so. Okay. And we get there, and I'm dipping. Like, this is a point in time where any sporting event I'm at, I'm dipping for sure automatically. Wow. Yeah, that's the phase that I was at with that.
That's like people that have to vape at events.
Yeah.
It's like you just can't wait. Like, is it that serious?
It's that serious. I want it during it. But we're going through the game, and I'm sitting next to the girlfriend. She's sitting next to the roommate, boyfriend on the outside. It gets towards the end of the game, and I'm finally sitting next to the boyfriend. We're just like hanging out talking, and he's chewing. And my inquisitive mind has to be like, yo, what's with the chew? Like, why chew? Why not dip? And he's like, oh, man, I used to be all about the dip, but I had to give it up just too many times. It's coming back on me, just not feeling well, feeling like sick from it. I'm like, yikes, man. I mean, I get it. I did chew too. And I explained how in college, this will tell you how big of a spitter I was back in the day. We had recreational softball team, and I didn't play on the team. Like, I didn't want to play in the league, but all my friends were there. So I had to be on the team, and to be in the dugout, I had to be on the team. So of course I enlisted. So I just was the manager, but I would put in the wad of chew because we were like, oh, let's do the chew thing. Cause you would do the big league chew after you put in the actual chew. So you put the gum, so it makes that wad all around it.
Wait. You mixing this with gum?
Yes. Big league chew specifically. Big league chew.
I know, yeah. Which for anybody that doesn't know Big League Chew, it's a chewing gum that's basically based a full version of the chew, right? Yeah. So it came in a bag.
The O'Doyle's of fake beer, basically.
Exactly. Whoa, you're mixing it with gum?
Yeah, so you put the gum on the outside, and I would put the dip in. So I had the wad and
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. Bad. So I'm explaining this to him. So I've had some chew experience before, but that was very limited.
Did you explain to him you was mixing it with gum, and did he have any thoughts about that?
Everything. Yes, I believe he had the same reaction as you did.
Okay. Now, was this a Carbondale thing? Were you the only person, or was everyone mixing?
No, everybody did it. Yeah, we were. I think somebody mentioned. I didn't look it up.
Just out of high school to let you. This is like a couple years out. Still, brains not fully functioning. You're going. Let's mix.
Somebody said that's what the big league players would do back in the day. So I was like, all right, that's good enough for me. Let me do it.
Damn.
It actually wasn't bad. I don't recommend it at all, but if you're gonna chew, you should try it.
Wow. That's a good story right there. That's a good story.
Hold on. I haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
Please continue.
I'm telling him this, dip, got the whole like horseshoe plus the chew on the outside, spitting these massive wads at the softball. And we're just like reminiscing, and I'm just like, oh, I love dip kind of thing, blah, 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 blah.
He said,
I love dip. Yeah, basically.
The dip. Oh, the dip. God damn.
And and probably at the time I'm putting in a dip, and I'm like, hey, if you want it at all, feel free. Obviously.
How much? Well, this is still at the game, correct?
Yes.
How many times did you have to switch out the dip while at the game?
Ooh, I don't know. It was long cut, so probably not that many. If I had the pouches, that'd be like in and out.
You had the circular container?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you do the thing where you kept flipping it? Like, I never got why people would.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, I know you got it. I know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So. The guy is like.
What was the point of that? Was it to move it around? What was the point of the flipping?
Yeah, so it's loose in the tin, and you do this, and it packs it, so it's easy to just chunk it.
Okay.
You don't have to do it. There's multiple ways, but like the cool way is one-handed, that way kind of thing. So something came over this man. It must have been the romance of the dazzling
The chew and
skating
the
on the
dip.
ice with my reminiscing of back in college. But all of a sudden he says, give me some of that dip. So he throws in his own dip. There's only like a few minutes left in the game. I think we get down to 0. We eventually switch back places. I'm with the girlfriend talking to her. He's with his girlfriend talking. I know he spits out. Hold on. He spits out the dip. He throws it in the trash on the way out. So I know he wasn't dipping. I just happened to notice it. We get to the car. I think I even asked him, like, y'all good? And he was like, yep, all good. We get to the car, and we're in traffic trying to exit the parking lot. And this man is like, I'm feeling sick. And so I guess he needed to just let it go. And we got Burger King on the way there. He just grabs the Burger King bag, hurls into it. It goes right through the bottom, all over him, crotch level. We haven't even left the parking lot, and our car
if the car's not moving, why didn't he just jump out the car?
Terrific questions.
What sense does that make? If the car's not going anywhere, get out and throw up. I knew I was like, he's not gonna get out, right? He's not gonna get out. Like, at least open the door. Like, why risk it in a bag, in a paper bag, dog? Really? Come on, man.
You know how I get when I'm in my laughing fit. I'm in the back seat laughing because when anyone's puking, I die laughing. I can't help it. It is one of the funniest things to me. I die.
Damn, you're a savage for real.
So I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I feel responsible. Do not take my laughter as a diss or anything, but that shit is just too funny to me.
And I am just why you're laughing at him.
Nothing. Like, we're all laughing. Like, this is like one of those situations. It's so bad. We just gotta laugh.
Whose car is it? Whose car is it? Is it his?
His girlfriend.
His girlfriend's. Right. Yeah. And she's laughing at him throwing up in her car?
Well, after he got out, assessing the damage, actually not bad. It was like all centralized on lap crotch.
Ugh. Ugh. Just nasty. I feel like I gotta throw up now. Ugh. Ugh, he should have known. He got what he deserved. He said, man, the stuff makes me sick. I'm out here. I don't know like, what's in my body. Again. Yuck. Why? Yuck. Why?
Oh, but it was just...
And you're just still chuckling over this shit.
Oh, my God. Someone puking is the funniest shit to me. Like, that's one of those things.
You must not puke that much for you.
I do. I puked a lot. But for some reason, I still... Like, it's just a natural reaction. I can't help it.
Man, fucking dog. A bad hangover? Ugh. I mean, one that takes you to, like, the next evening?
I am just thinking, like... fantasizing you going to throw up right now. Just talking about that makes me laugh.
It looks like I'm going through withdrawals. All right.
I think what makes it so funny is like how raw and real people get of how awful it is. Oh, and yeah, it's so funny.
The dog when you can't so of course snot is all in your nose because all the liquids are coming out, right? So now you're earling. So since you're throwing up, you can't breathe in. You can't breathe through your nose. Right. Now you're blowing your nose. You're feeling suffocated. You're throwing up again. It's just, oh, nah, bro. Oh, no. Nah.
Did you say you didn't watch? You don't watch The Office, right? You never watched that.
No, I have not. I've seen it, but I haven't.
Okay, well, you know how like they do the almost Simpson thing. Like there's a beginning scene. Sometimes it connects to the episode. Sometimes it doesn't. Then the title song. One of those is like the entire office getting a chain reaction throw up from something that happens.
Okay.
It is the funniest thing to me. I die every time. Just
so all right. So as far as nicotine or tobacco.
Well, so I was just thinking about that story when I was telling about it. And it's just funny how just reminiscing, like I guess I dipped still occasionally. Like you saw me dip occasionally. I don't buy it anymore. I'm not really that into it. It really does nothing for me. I never seek it type thing. And it's funny how I've gone through such a progression of switching to being like, oh, I really want that versus like not. And then obviously it's the habits that you do with it that usually stand out. And I was just kind of curious your tobacco history, if you will, or at least somewhat experiences with it. Because it's funny how that stuff like globs on.
Of course, dumping the innards out wherever will probably be my first use of tobacco with rolling a blunt. Will probably I would think. I mean, I think I may have tried a cigarette once or twice prior to that. Prior to my dad dying, I did. When I got after, she smoked squares. So I smoked a little bit of squares because she used to smoke cigarettes.
What was your brand?
I don't remember what the brand was.
Oh, that's another reason why I brought this up.
Salem. I'm Salem. I gotta.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Salem. I can't remember.
I think it's like Winston Salem, isn't it? Something
right.
Like that?
I think Salem's were the ones. They weren't Newport. I don't think she was smoking Newports. But I remember like at times when we were dating, going to restaurants and sitting and this is when they still had the smoking section, which was like, why are we this is no need for this, right? I remember she was the person that kind of got me to where I didn't have to buy alcohol at a restaurant because it was like, wait, we just ran up $30 to $40 in just alcohol, and we could have just bought the bottle and saved money or whatever. That's how I felt with the smoking section. Like, why are we doing this in here or whatever? Like, this doesn't make sense or whatever. So I didn't do. I actually stopped smoking squares.
Wait, did you buy the same brand?
Yeah, I would buy what she brought, or I think one thing to start. I had bought a pack for my dad and he died, and I think I smoked that pack and I went from smoking for like about maybe a few weeks or something. But that was never really my thing. My thing was Black and Milds. I had two runs of smoking Black and Milds in college, and the problem was I remember like coming back home. And I was driving around in my ride or whatever, and I'm thinking I'm ill. I got a Black and Mild in my hand. I'm hanging out with my ex-girlfriend. She smokes blacks or whatever. And the thing was, I can remember riding with blacks and being like, damn, my belly burning. And I'm looking, I'm burning a hole in my shirt. And that happened twice with the Black and Mild, where the cherry had fallen out and burned my shirt. I was smoking in the bathtub in my townhouse of school.
Oh, my God.
Give me
the shower beer with the shower smoke. That was
so. I mean, that was my tobacco. Black and Milds were my tobacco of choice. I would say for a year to a year and a half, and then maybe like a 6 to 8 month run. About a couple years after that, and after that, I don't smoke any. And if I've ever smoked anything, it had to have marijuana connected to it whatsoever. Like I don't believe in bringing in everything that you like. Any carcinogen is bad for you. I don't believe in bringing in one that's not elevating me. So this like no, I don't. But quickly, this week I was watching on the History Channel this new show they have called The Booze, Bets, and Sex That Built America, and I found out some stuff that I really didn't know. So this cat named James Buchanan Duke, right? His father has a tobacco store, right?
Real quick, does that not sound like a tobacco store like owner? James Buchanan Duke.
Watch how far this goes, though. Watch how far this goes, right? And when I tell you, it'll be like, yeah, that makes so much
sense. Finest of tobacco leaves, right? Name.
So this is like the 1870s, around maybe late 1860s, 1870s, and he's going around the country trying to sell their tobacco. And his brother's kind of like, yeah, whatever. His brother's like running the business and like, yeah, whatever. You just go out here kicking it, basically. And Duke gets to the point where he can't really sell their tobacco anymore. But while he's in all these industrial places, he's at one factory and he's trying to stuff his pipe. And this dude comes, I don't know if he's trying to stuff his pipe. He's trying to roll a cigarette, right? And this dude comes and gives him a cigarette. And he was like, wait, he's like, basically, because people frowned out, cigarettes were looked at something that was feminine and for women, basically. And he was like, y'all out here smoking these? And the dude was like, dude, we got 10 to 15 minute breaks. This is all the time we got. So he took that back home and told his dad, like, yo, this is what's going to pop because of what they're doing up there in Chicago, New York, and all these other industrial cities. They don't have time to sit there and poke in the pipe. So his brother is trying to light a pipe, and he smokes a cigarette, takes like 4 drags and puts it out. He was like, I've done that, and you still haven't gotten that thing lit properly just yet. So his father believes in him, and they go out. He goes out and brings 100 women from like New York, right, to come and hand roll cigarettes down in North Carolina, right? And what ends up happening is they corner the market on cigarettes, but they have more orders than they have cigarettes because the rollers can only roll so many cigarettes, right? So he decides to move the company to New York. He saw that some dude had a patent. Some dude entered a machine building contest, and he built a cigarette rolling machine, but the company didn't order the machine from him, so the patent just sat out there. So he gets the patent. The machine's not working. Gets the machine to work. Now he's rolling out tons of cigarettes now, right? And they become part of the Big Five in tobacco, right? One of the Big Five countries. I mean, the Big Five companies in tobacco, right? His father tells him like, "Yo," when he tells his father like, "Yeah, Dad, we're in the Big Five," and his dad was like, when I bet on a horse, I don't bet on it for show. I bet on it to win. Basically, like Big Five, you want to be number one, right? So what he does is he slashes his prices. And the reason he slashes his prices is because his competitors have to, but they don't have the machines. Now he has like 12 of those machines, right? He's making cigarettes crazy, right? Compared to back in those days, right? And he brings them all together. And he's like, listen, we going to form a conglomerate and I'm going to be at the head of it. All right. And he was like, well, what if we don't do it? He's like, I'm about to cut my shit by 5% today. Are you ready for that? So they agree to it, which becomes the American Tobacco Company, right? James Buchanan, and we talked about this back in the days, he gets hit with the RICO. When he gets hit where they break up, I'm skipping a part. So I'll actually watch the next episode before the first episode. In the second episode, he causes so much trouble in America. So you have all these tobacco farmers, right? Since the Big Five is now American Tobacco, he sets the price on what they pay tobacco farmers for their tobacco, and he low cuts the shit out of their ass, right? So the tobacco farmers basically build a kind of union that's like, we're not selling you shit unless you pay this, and they burn down other farmers who sell their tobacco to them. Also, and they do a lot of tactics similar to the Klan. They kind of build this little trooper cell they got, this tobacco trooper cell after the Klan because they see what the Klan has done. Also, for some reason, they burn the hell out of black farmers' tobacco fields, right? Like, oh, we burn these fields, we may as well get these N-words fields too out of here, right? That's what they burn. They burn the black farmers' field so they can't get up. You know what I'm saying? It's always about keeping the black man down, right? So anyway, his second in command tells him like, yo, you need to let off these people and do something. He's like, man, fuck that. Right? Let them fight. I don't give a fuck. Right? So this basically gets to the government, and the government is like, yo, we breaking up your monopoly. Right? So they break up the American Tobacco Company. All right. So he has to get paid for them breaking it up. He becomes the third richest man in the world. All right.
Yeah.
Right from this. At one point, he's by the early 1900s, the cigarettes are number one. But back then, in the before the 1900s, cigarettes are like number 5. It's what you were saying. It's dip, it's chew, it's all of that. It's it's cigars. Cigars was the choice, a manly choice. But this is the kicker to let you know when I say this to you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. He also does philanthropic type shit. Like he opens up a school in his name. And we watch them play college basketball all the fucking time. Think about it. Tobacco Road, North Carolina, yeah. Duke. Yeah, that Duke. That's
Dukey's
Duke School. All right.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love it. That's good stuff.
So that school was found by nefarious monopolizing tobacco.
Boy, and I don't know why Coach K just fits the model of what that icon, the logo. He's like the Marlboro man, the Duke.
Exactly. So again, Tobacco Road, North Carolina, Duke. I thought when I told you he brought the ladies down to North Carolina. It may start to click into you where we were going to go with this, but it was funny to learn that the way the cigarettes are sold and a lot of that modernization comes from this gentleman who, because of cigarettes, became not the country, at one point the third richest man in the world. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All right. So that's it for one of our Vice shows. We'll continue to come on here and talk a little bit of Vice, give you a little bit of our experiences with or without said Vice and how we feel about it, but also just kind of break it down from different angles, is kind of bring you different topics, just stuff that's just outside of levity with a little bit of seriousness. We always appreciate you taking a little bit of time. Again, Ryan, great idea, and we look forward to talking to you all down the road.